Good evening, Internet. Shroom here, and I'm going to play some more Standard tonight. Standard's about to radically change, I predict, on Monday when hopefully a lot of bans are going to hit the format. So I thought tonight I'd just revisit a deck I played a few moments ago with some really cool tweaks from Final Fantasy. Let's play some Simic Stompy Control. What is Stompy Control? Let's take a look. So the basic premise behind this deck is that ramping is a good thing to do in control decks, because what it allows you to do is to play really overbodied, cheap green creatures while holding up counterspells to protect them. So it's sort of like a Delver of Secrets strategy where we're just like resolving a good overcosted, overbodied threat or two and just protecting them with our counterspells till they eventually kill our opponent. And that's the plan. So let's go over our ramp pieces first. Of course, we got our Llanowar Elves. One piece that we got from, we've got Glimpse the Korra. Two, let's fish a forest out of our library, put it onto the battlefield tapped. We also have two Herd Heirlooms, which can give us mana to cast our creatures. That's great. We have a lot of creatures. Also can let us give our big creatures trample and let us draw extra cards that way, which should be a decent way for this deck to draw cards. Now, the piece that I'm really excited about is the Summon Fenrir's that we got from Final Fantasy. So it's 3 mana for 3/2 Enchantment Saga creature. It's a 3/2. It only actually gets to attack once itself, but for Chapter 1, it lets us search up a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped. For Chapter 2, when they can attack, it lets us put a +1/+1 counter on the next creature that we cast, so it sets up our next creature to be huge. And then on Chapter 3, it hopefully lets us draw cards. We draw a card if we control a creature with the greatest power or tied for the greatest power, which hopefully a lot of the time we should, because we have a lot of 4 power creatures or more on the battlefield, possibly higher due to the Summon Fenrir. So I'm excited to try out Fenrir in this brew because it is a creature that is also a ramp piece. And then our efficient green threats that we're going to protect with our counterspells are, we're trying out Sazh's Chocobo for this deck because we're a ramp deck, which means that we're putting extra lands onto the battlefield, which means that these Chocobos can get very large by the mid to late game. So that's why I thought this bird might be a good inclusion in the deck. We'll see. I can see how this could be really bad if you draw it late game. But we've got the 4 of copies to make sure that we draw one early. So I'm excited to see how this little bird will perform. And then we're more focused on like 2 drops than we were in the previous iteration. I got the Keen-Eyed Curators. I got one of these Web Strike Elites. It's just 2 mana 3/3s. So we're going to lean pretty heavy on these guys to close out games, I think. We've lowered the curve of the deck overall. And then out of a 3-drop slot, we've got a couple of Bloated Contaminators. We've got 2 Scrap Shooters, which can also destroy artifacts or enchantments. And we've got 2 Sirocs in the main now, who should draw some extra cards against those silly decks like black decks that are trying to remove our creatures. And then, of course, we've got counterspells to protect all of our threats that we'll be able to put on the battlefield and hold up mana to counter because we are a ramp deck. And those counterspells include Spell Pierce. They include a 2 of Tyvar Stand, which are just protection spells for our creatures, which can also turn into Howls from Beyond to close out games later in the game. We're only running a 2 of Repulsive Mutation. Now, this might be too many, because I've been burned by this card. If you have a creature, a big creature on this battlefield, this can be counterspell with upside, It can't just be 2 mana counter target spell. Possibly if you spend more mana, put +1/+1 counters on the creatures. Or it can be totally useless if you have no creatures on the battlefield. So I used to run 3. I'm only running 2 now, which might actually be too much. We'll see. I'm hoping that 2 is actually the right number. And then we're also running 3 of Spectral Divination, which is like, it's like a Syncopate. It doesn't exile, though, but it costs 1 less for each creature we control with power 4 or greater. Now, we want counterspells that we can play for less than 3 mana, because we're looking to close out the game early. We're going to resolve cheap threats, protect them with counterspells in the early game to win by like the early to mid, the mid game, basically. We also don't want spells that cost double blue, because we are just splashing blue, really. We don't have that many lands that can produce blue. We can't reliably include double blue spells in this deck. We also are playing creatures on 2 that require double green and some, triple green spells. So we really can't go too heavy on blue mana. So I'm trying Spectral Denial again in more quantity than I did last time. Because this seems like it might be good for this deck. We're going to have creatures with power 4 or greater, so I could see how this could be a, cheap counter anything spell in this deck. So let's see how it goes. And then we've just got a couple of miscellaneous interactive pieces. You know, we've got a 1-of Bushwhack, which can be a fight spell that can also let us tutor up a land into our hand that we can play to trigger landfall for our Chocobos. We've got a couple of Into the Flood Maws as good tempo pieces that can interact cheaply with big creatures on our opponent's side, can remove critical blockers so that we can get in for key attacks. And then we've got a 1-of Archdruid's Charm, which is just a very powerful, versatile spell, which can let us tutor a creature into our hand or land onto the battlefield. So it's ramp. Can also be a fight spell that puts a +1/+1 counter on our spell prior to a bite spell, actually, prior to having to bite another creature, or can just exile artifacts and enchantments. There's a total of 21 lands in the deck, down from 22 because we have lowered our curve and because we have just tons of ways to get extra mana. We've got our elves, we've got tons of ways to we got other ramp pieces and ways to put extra lands onto the battlefield. 21 really is sufficient for the mana value of our deck. We're trying to keep the number of tap lands low. I mean, we have to run the 4 Botanical Sanctums because, like, you know, we need to make early game plays. We got 2 Hedge Mages and 2 Restless Vine Stalks, as always tap lands that provide some extra utility. And we've got 2 Fabled Passages because we are a landfall deck with our Chocobos, so we do want to have a few extra landfall triggers that we can include to pump up our birds. The sideboard contains an extra Into the Flood Maw, couple Essence Scatters for creature decks, couple of Negates for non-creature decks, control and combo decks. We got the full 4 of Obstinate Baloth, because I think one thing that's going to happen with presumably the banning of Corey Steelcutter and possibly Monstrous Rage, Red's going to take a huge nerf. And probably they're going to ban something from Omniscience as well, I would suspect, as that's like the number 2 deck. But I don't know how much beyond that they're going to go. So I'm a little worried that, like, the bounce decks are going to become all the rage again. So I'm hedging my bets by including the 4 of Obstinate Baloth. It's just a good card anyway. It's good against aggro decks. It fits well in the deck because it's a big creature that can help us draw cards off of our Herd Heirlooms. So we got the full 4 of. And then we're running 2 Paw Patch formations, although we already have a lot of Artifact and Enchantment hate in our main. I like Paw Patch formation against the black decks because it kills Archdemon to the Archfiend to the Dross, and it kills Unholy Annex. So it's specifically in that matchup a very good card, and I think we'll probably see more of that as well due to the nerfing of red decks. We got a couple of Tishana's Tidebinders, can help us against like Planeswalker decks, which are probably going to become more popular. Also good against like Monument to Endurance decks, that kind of thing, to shut down those annoying triggers. And we've got Sirach number 3 in our sideboard to board in against the black decks that play lots of removal spells. We'll just draw those cards very happily and make them pay the price and hopefully counter those removal spells to boot. So that is the plan. Let's see if some Chocobos and some Fenrir's can soup up Stompy Control and make it a little more consistent, a little lower to the ground. We've got more counterspells than we used to also, so I think that's another positive for this build of Simic Stompy Control. We're just better at interacting with our opponent than we used to be, assuming that we like get our creatures early. Anyway, let's see how this plays in the diamond tier of standard on the MTG Arena ladder. And if you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Iratsu will be our first opponent. We're going to be on the play. And this hand looks good. I think we lead on a Llanowar Elf. Probably play Sirach turn 2. Although, I don't know, maybe the Chocobo. Thundering Falls. I think I like Sirach. Yeah, let's play Sirach. So, an untapped Bitter Reunion. Cards of Flood Pit's Drowner. Okay. So let's play our Chocobo. Make our land drop. Grow our Chocobo. Attack for 5. Trumpeting Carnosaur. Okay. Down goes Sazh, but we draw a card. Alright, let's play another Chocobo. And summon Fenrir. Just gonna grab our islands. Ardyn Thrill Seeker is a 3/3. Alright, we don't have another creature to bring in, unfortunately. We will grow our Chocobos, however. And we have counterspells available. I mean, this spell actually can just put counters on our creatures, too. Yeah, I think I'll just put 2 counters on that Chocobo, or just 1. I guess we'll just put 1 counter on that Chocobo. Okay. So we grow our Chocobo out of range. And opponent's dead. So, is it... I think we want Sazh number 3. They're going to be targeting our stuff quite a bit. I think we want our some obstinate Baloths also. They're an aggro deck. So we'll cut Contaminators, maybe Scrap Shooters in favor of the Baloths. I think I might want an Into the Floodmaw also. I cut Archdruid's Charm and maybe Bushwhack. Let's try this. I don't think we can keep hands that have no creatures. I don't know. Like, we do have a counterspell. Yeah, I think we need to have a creature in our hand. Okay, we got to summon Fenrir. This hand's really not good, but on the draw, it doesn't do anything until turn 3. Summon Fenrir is good. Alright, I really don't want a multi-5, so I guess I'm keeping this. Bottom Yavimaya Coast. Alright, Hedge Maze, help us out here. Chocobo. Picklock Prankster. So they're like an Oculus deck, probably. Sure, let's play Chocobo. And a land. Torch our Chocobo. Okay. Let's play a Summon Fenrir. Ramp. There's Picklock Prankster. And torch the tower. Alright, let's summon Fenrir. and ramp. Throne of the Grim Captain. Take one. It's an Obstinate Baloth. Let's attack. We take it. Play an Obstinate Baloth. It's a 5/5. Alright, we need some Keen-Eyed Curators. Another Obstinate Baloth. We draw a card. Okay, we can actually destroy the throne. Attack with our Baloth. Gets bounced. So we need how much mana to destroy the throne? 4? So I think we'll summon Fenrir. Grab a forest. We'll hold up 4 mana to cycle our Web Strike Elites. Alright, we're gonna just do this now. Destroy the throne. It's not a spell. Cannot be countered. Spectral Denial. Okay, that's a good one. Let's play this Herd Heirloom. Play this Baloth. It's a 5/5. Flood Pit's Drowner. Okay. Gonna tap our Fenrir. Okay. Sacking fish to draw cards. Trumpeting Carnosaur. I think we'll counter that. Getting the extra point because of our Obstinate Baloth. Down to 24. Restless Vinestock. Okay, we draw a card. Let's attack with our Baloth. We're going to give it trample, and when it does damage, we're going to draw a card. Into the Flood Maw, okay. Play a Baloth. Play a Restless Vinestalk. Play a Summon Fenrir. Get our last basic land. Tarian Mauler. Down to 27. Alright, let's play this Baloth. It's a 5/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's attack with our Vinestalk. As base power and toughness 3/3. I don't think we want to do that. Okay, we're gonna give our Baloth trample. We get to draw a card. Opponent's down to 7. Marauding Mako. How about a counterspell? No counters to be found. Okay. Let's do this again. GG's. Alright, taking down the Grim Captain. 0 will be our next opponent. Will be on the play. I think because we're on the play, we can keep this. It's not a great hand. Hedge Maze gives us a sort of surveil. I'll keep a Keen-Eyed Curator. Alright, play Botanical Sanctum, play Curator. Cannot be cut down. That's part of what I like these. Why I like these 2-mana 3/3s so much. Black Mage's Rod. Okay. So they're gonna be like bolting us. I'm gonna play this tap land. Gonna attack. I could hold up a counterspell. X equals 1. Or I could just play this Web Strike Elite. I could at some point cycle this Web Strike Elite. I also have an Archmage's Charm. I think I'm just going to play a 3/3. Collector's Vault. Gonna ping us for 1. Spectrum Sentinel. Protection from multicolored. Whenever a non-basic land enters, you gain 1 life. Alright, let's attack with our dudes. They take it. I think I'll just summon Fenrir. tutor up a basic land. Sure, you can gain 1 life. Because I want to play my Llanowar Elf also. Bandit's Talents. Probably discard this counterspell. So I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of Bandit's Talents. Alright, so they're in rack mode. Yep, we're gonna lose 2 life. So I could tutor up a creature in order to get a counter. We have land, instants. We'll have enchantments. The question is, do I want to activate the Restless Vinestock, or do I want to get rid of the Bandit's Talents? I think I actually just want to get rid of the Bandit's Talents. Oh, I should have done it in response to them, like, tapping mana. Alright, so we kill their stuff. They're down to 6. We can attack with the Vinestock next turn. We're losing the Fenrir, though. Meteorites. Gonna kill the Fenrir. Okay. So let's exile Artifact Creature. Let's exile land. Let's exile instant? I think that's enough, yeah. GG's. Okay, so I think we want Tranquil Frillback. Obstinate Baloth, they're a discard deck. Possibly Paw Patch Formation. Now, we want stuff that can kill artifacts and enchantments, I think. Maybe Into the Floodmaw. Let's cut Bushwhack. Cut some of our other 4-drops, or the Bloaties at least, because we're bringing in Obstinate Baloths. Let's cut a Chocobo. I guess maybe we won't bring in Floodmaw number 3. A Tyvar stand, maybe? Try this. This is fine. I like Keen-Eyed Curator. We'll keep. Cannot be cut down. Oh, they... Okay, they're like a rack deck. They're choosing to be on the draw. So I guess they're really going for the rack here. Hopeless Nightmare. Okay, where's our Obstinate Baloths? We'll discard Island. Alright, let's play a Curator. Can't be cut down. Okay, let's attack with the Curator. Play this. Do I want to summon Fenrir? Yeah, I think I do. grab an island. Collector's Vault. Okay, we've got 2 counterspells here, so feeling pretty good about things. And we'll play a Herd Heirloom. We didn't have the ability to trigger it this turn. Yeah, opponent with only 2 lands. These Spectral Denials are going to be pretty effective. Alright, we lose our Fenrir, but we do get to draw a card. Spell Pierce, I like it. Can we already... Sire of 7 Deaths, please. Can we already activate our Curator, land, enchantment, creature? We sure can. So we'll go... land. And we'll go... Hey, Fenrir is also 2 card types. Creature... we don't have a... instant or sorcery, do we? Okay, I guess we are missing a card type. Too bad. Well, I'm gonna pass and hold up my counterspell, because that will put an instant in the graveyard. Consumed by cornered by black mages. Spell Pierce. GG's. Chicken, the Mighty, with their Cactuar avatar. Oh man, I hope they're not playing Cactuars. That deck was good. We'll be on the play, and I like turn 1 Llanowar Elf, so we'll keep. Our other 2 lands do come into play tapped, unfortunately, but we can Herd Heirloom into the Flood Maw. Alright, let's Herd Heirloom. Hedge Maze. Spectral Denial. Yeah, I like Spectral Denial. Want to have a Bloated Contaminator on the way. Alright, opponent's Jund. So, let's play... Bloated. So we can Spectral Denial X equals 1 since we have a 4-power creature. Gloomvine Regent, gonna ramp him. I think I like countering that. Another Spectral Denial. Okay, cool. Sure. Let's just juice up our Bloated. And attack. Draw a card. Keen-Eyed Curator. Let's play Keen-Eyed Curator. We can still X equals 1, our Spectral Denial. X equals 2, actually. Virtue of Persistence. Yeah, let's X equals 2. How are we looking on card types? Enchantment, creature, instant. So we can't get 3. That's just a creature, right? Omen is... that's a sorcery. Does that count as 2? One. It doesn't. Okay. So we'll attack like this. we'll draw a card. Could play another Keen-Eyed Curator. Or I could just use this Archdruid's Charm to like tutor something up. It's possible they could have like a deadly cover-up, so I don't think I need to play any more creatures. Breaching Dragonstorm. Okay. We will exile it so it doesn't get bounced back into their hand. Breach the multiverse. That's gross. They get a Trumpeting Carnosaur, which finds them an Overlord. Take 5. Let's exile this sorcery. Hedge Maze. We don't need a Botanical Sanctum. Let's attack with our Keen-Eyed Curator. Okay, I think we need to... We can fully level up our thing. So, let's see. What are we missing? Enchantment. So, Overlord. This land. So that gives us the boost. Now, we want to make sure they don't have anything to reanimate. So, I'm going to bounce my Sharpshooter. Oh, I didn't tap my Herd Heirloom. That was silly. And I think I just pass. I can hold up the activation of Keen-Eyed Curator. Forgot to tap my Herd Heirloom. So we missed out on a card. Itali. Gets Glimpse the Core. Okay. I mean, that's not too bad. And Disruptive Stormbrood. Alright, so we lose our heirloom. We can exile the Overlord in response to the trigger. We'll take 5, I guess. It has lifelink and menace. Why does it have all that stuff? Demons. Oh, because it's a demon. Weird. Okay. I think we'll attack with our Keen-Eyed Curator. Block with Itali. And the dragon? Sure. We'll kill Itali, I guess. Let's play a Scrap Shooter. And a Curator. Badlands Betrayal. Alright, good enough for me. Itali plus a whatever, Carnosaur. Okay, so we want Essence Scatter. We want Tidebinder, probably. Frillback. Probably Negate also. I don't think we need Web Strike Elite. We can cut one Chocobo. We want Chocobos. We need early game aggression. We need some Chocobo action. Cut a Scrap Shooter. Cut Bushwhack. Tyvar Stand. We need to be able to actually counter their spells, not just protect our creatures. So I'm losing to the Tyvar Stands. I think I can cut a Sirach also. Cut one Bloated Contaminator. I would like a Chocobo. No Chocobo. This hand actually doesn't interact with what they're doing whatsoever. I don't think this is keepable. If they get to do their thing, they just win. So we have to keep a hand that can disrupt it or be more aggressive enough to kill them early, which this hand does neither of those. Okay, this is closer. I like negates. So we'll keep this. Probably bottom Glimpse the Core. Oh, I can't play the Llanowar Elf turn 1, which is unfortunate. Into the Floodmaw. I think we'll bin that. Alright, let's go for... Llanowar Elf here, I guess. Gets killed. Spell Pierce. Well, let's Glimpse the Core. Alright, they get to ramp. We find a Chocobo. We don't have any lands, though. Let's play our Herd Heirloom and a Chocobo. A very sad Chocobo. Overlord. And... play this Lodi. Yep, this Overlord is a problem. Itali. We can spell pierce that. Save our Chocobo. I don't know how we beat their board, though, is the problem. We can't deal with this. I guess we can frill back the Overlord, actually. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Kick it to destroy the Overlord. No attack. Yeah. We had a bad early turns, and we stumbled a little bit in the early game, and they got to do their thing, so if only we, I don't know, Spell Pierce and Negate were good spells against what they had, but it just didn't line up right. Another Itali. Sure, whatever. Good enough for me. Okay. Combo. Disdainful Stroke might be a good spell to have in our sideboard. Neffy MTG is our next opponent. We're going to be on the play. Hey, our hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. I think we lead on Elf. Play our Chocobo. Play a land. I think we pass this turn. I don't want to tap out. I want to keep my protection up. Cleric. Okay, it's going to be one of these types of decks. Another Spell Pierce. Alright, attack with our bird. Play Bloated Contaminator. Zorleen. Hedge Maze. Alright, grow the Chocobo. Attack with our dudes. Oh, I should have played my Herd Heirloom. They block with Zorleen. Okay. Let's X equals 1 this Tyvar stand. Proliferate our Chocobo. Another Zorleen. Repulsive Mutation. Alright, we're gonna play the Herd Heirloom. And attack with our dudes. Gonna draw a card. Grow the Chocobo. Draw 2 cards. Each opponent loses some life. We can counter that. We can actually double Spell Pierce it. I think I like that better than using my Repulsive Mutation. Alright, opponent scoops it up. So, one of those types of decks We want Paw Patch formation because they're loaded with flying creatures. We want Tranquil Frillback for their graveyard. I think we want Into the Floodmaw. Possibly some Tidebinders. Let's lose Bloated, a Sirach, a Bushwhack, Tyvar stand, maybe a Glimpse the Core. Actually, I'm not gonna bring in the Tranquil. We'll just rely on our raccoons to exile their graveyard. Okay, opponent mulliganed once. Our hand looks good. We can't turn one. You can turn one, tap land, turn two, Llanowar Elf. Then we can't Chocobo. It's a little slow. We do have Paw Patch formation. I'm gonna keep. Okay, Yavimaya Coast. I like that. Let's play our Llanowar Elf. There's that guy. Okay, let's Herd Heirloom. Chocobo. Hedge Maze. Botanical Sanctum. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that on top. Zorleen. Alright, Botanical Sanctum. Let's kill Zorleen. Attack with our Chocobo. Oh, I should have Fenrir'd. I could have Fenrir'd to get another land. Alright. I guess I'm just going to do that post-combat, like a fool. So we missed out on point of damage. Not a card, fortunately. I would have felt really dumb. There's another Zorleen. Into the Floodmaw, that's a good one. Might as well just do this now, I guess. Attack with Fenrir and Chocobo. Alright, we'll grow our Chocobo. And we'll draw a card. We draw Sirach, who is a 5/4. Risky shortcut. Let's Spell Pierce that. Bounce Zorleen. Okay, opponent scoops it up. Absolutely destroy Orzhov Aristobats. Worm 76, 76, 76 will be our final opponent. The pack leader. And our hand is actually quite good. We're gonna keep. Be nice if this elf lived. Alright, opponent leads on Demir, so pretty unlikely the elf will live. Virtue of Persistence. Alright, let's play a Chocobo. And a land. Grixis. Let's Glimpse the Core. Spell Pierce. Okay. play a Herd Heirloom. We don't draw land. It's kind of unfortunate. More counters. Okay. Let's attack. Let's play another Chocobo, I guess. As a 0/1. Alright, we draw tap land. Get in there. We're gonna hold up counters. Virtue of Persistence. X equals 2. Summon Fenrir, that's a good one. Although maybe I needed to hold up counterspell this turn. We'll see if this goes really badly. But getting the land seemed good. Duress. Yep, there's a deadly cover-up. Would have been nice to counter that. Although I suppose it would have been duress most likely. Alright, let's play our scrap shooter. And a Chocobo. Oh, I should have played the elf, because I have a Restless Vine stock. Bushwhack. Find a land. Edict. Alright, I'll attack my Chocobo. Well, I'm gonna play this elf. Okay, Tyvar stand. So, can I just win here? And then with Affliction, is your last card a counterspell? 1, 2, 3. X equals 3. Alright. Grixis Control. So give me Sirach. Give me Negate. I think we'll cut into the Floodmaw. I don't know. They could like go all mid-rangey on us. Keep one into the Floodmaw. So I'm gonna cut a Scrap Shooter. Maybe Bushwhack. His hand's very slow. Spell Pierce is good though. I'm gonna keep. See how it goes. Alright, we do draw an elf turn 1, but I don't think I want to play it turn 1. I want to wait till I can protect it. Alright, there's an elf. Stock up. Spell Pierce that. I think we'll Fenrir. Grab a forest. Pass. Do we want to protect this? Yeah, we do want to protect it. Because it also blanks their virtue. Okay, they scoop it up. Wow, too much protection for the Grixis Control deck. Sweet. All right, our final record with this iteration of Stompy Control was a 4-1. Pretty solid 4-1 too. I think the deck is really good against anything on the fair-ish side that is like mid-rangey and playing creatures. I think we're kind of good at just like getting threats early and locking them out, and like our creatures are bigger because we're playing green ones. So yeah, we seem good against that. We got crushed by like a combo deck. I think maybe some Disdainful Stroke in the sideboard would be good to add. You probably could cut like maybe a Baloth and like into the Flood Bond number 3. Actually, maybe not into the Flood Bond number 3. Maybe negate one of the negates. I don't know. Overall, the deck is pretty good, though. I think it played out just the way that I designed. I like this iteration of it. The only thing is, like, these Chocobos, they're like kind of hit and miss. Like, we do have lots of ways of tutoring lands, you know, with our Glimpse the Cores and our Fenrir's, which were awesome. I love these. I think these are great for the deck. But we also only have 21 lands in the mana base. I could see going up to 22 just for a little bit more landfall potential for the Chocobos. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about the Chocobos. These might be better in a more all-in landfall deck rather than a deck that just incidentally plays extra lands because it's ramping. But there was like a situation or two where they were really good. I don't know. I think that they could be very hit and miss. Still on the fence about it, so we'll see. I do plan on playing more of this archetype because it is one of my favorites. I love big green beaters, you know, counterspells, and I think it's just a good strategy that if you get the right draw, like, it just wins the game. Like, you stick a big creature early and like spell pierce and counter their stuff, and you win. So I do think the strategy is sound and the build is pretty good. We'll see how Standard evolves with the ban announcement on Monday. I hope it's a huge shakeup. Like, really, if it were up to me, there would be like 8 cards getting banned on Monday. I predict there's going to be like 3 or 4 bans, probably 2 of them hitting red. You know, they gotta ban Corey Steelcutter. Like, they just have to do that. And I think they'll end up banning Monstrous Rage also. And probably something from the Omniscience deck. I really wish they would ban something from like the Pixie deck and or Dabir. Like, I would love to see them ban This Town Ain't Big Enough, or like Enduring Curiosity. Those cards are horrible. I hate them. But Wizards tends to take a soft approach to standard bans these days, so it's probably just going to be a couple of things from red, but we'll see. It's going to be a totally different standard format next week, so look forward to seeing how the meta shakes out and brewing around it. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching some Stompy Control, Simic Final Fantasy style. If you did and you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream Magic the Gathering on my Twitch channel every Tuesday and Friday. There's a link to the Twitch if you want to come check out the action in real time. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.